What it's all about. We had a beautiful winter's morning, fogs rising off the river, quite foggy outside the river, but it's going to be a beautiful clear day. First cast for the session. Been a few weeks since I've been out. Super keen to try and find a cod. I'd expect the fishing to be quite tough today. It is cold. I think when I hopped out of my ute just then it was -1 or something on the dash, so very cold. All the straps that I'd strapped my kayak down with are frozen solid. Grass is glistening, nice and white and crunchy under feet. Just perfect morning to be out on the river. A lot of people won't brave those cold conditions, but when you get out here, you just got to have the right gear. Good set of gloves. I wear waders too. When I'm in the kayak, you're always going to get wet, so a set of waders will keep you dry. If you're dry, you can have some chance of staying warm. So we're just going to toss this surface lure around. I've got quite a subtle paddler on here this morning. It's quite a small paddler. I'm in some pretty highly pressured water. So yeah, just want to keep it pretty subtle, not make too much noise. So we can raise one on the surface. And I'm thinking it's going to be a weedless plastic day. The river is up a bit more current. There's been a pulse out of the dam the last 10 days or so, and some of that water's still here. There's actually another pulse coming down the next day or two. So yeah, the river hasn't been up like this for a while. We haven't had this sort of flow all winter. But from what I just saw on my head torch there, I was putting the kayak in, it looks quite clear still, which should be alright for luring. So we can get one on this surface lure. If not, we'll swap over to the soft plastic and probably a swim bait. I'll stick around, see if we can find one. Doesn't get any better than this. Might be cold out here, but it really is hard to beat watching this surface lure break the tension of the water. It's just dead calm this morning. This fog's actually getting thicker along the river as the sun comes up. So good to be out here. Can't feel my fingers. It is freezing cold. Got ice on the eyelets, but very cool. Very cool conditions to be fishing in. But I am looking forward to that sun getting up and pumping a little bit of heat into the day. Hopefully that's going to bring the fish on as the day goes on, as that sun gets on the water and just warms them up a little bit. It might make them a bit more willing to feed. But still a good chance of raising one here on the surface this morning. Working my way up to the top of this hole, and then I drift all the way down. We got about 10 or 12k drift today, so it's like this hole above where the ute is a really nice hole, quite heavily pressured, but I've caught some good fish out of here, and I don't know how many people will be braving these conditions. We've had a very cold winter so far, so it probably hasn't had a lot of pressure lately. Well, it won't be long, I'll start chucking this weedless plastic around. I think that's probably the lure that's going to get the bites in these conditions. But how good is this? Hard to beat. Love it when that fog's coming up off the water. Got one. There you go. It's the first bite of the day. I just changed lures. Oh, he's a nice fella too. Very healthy looking fish. Oh, just changed lures. We'll have a look at this lure in a sec. We'll just land this fella. Beautiful fish to start the morning. Been plonking these big long casts out, and that's the first cast I've done that's rubbed over a bit of timber. Rubbed over 2 bits of timber, and then this fella's just crunched it. Now this is a lure I've never used before. Picked this lure up, I was over at Grafton for a wedding. There's a nice little fishing and hunting shop on the edge of town. I think it's a PhD lure. Doesn't have anything written. Oh yeah, PhD lure. Don't know what it's called. It's made for dewies. Dives probably 1 to 2 foot. And yeah, first time I give it a swim, I just sort of tied on to see the action. Loving the action. It's got a big wide wobble. It's only diving sort of probably 2 to 3 feet on the big long cast. Beautiful big wobble, good presence in the water, really heavy lure, good for casting. Yeah, anyway, this fella liked it. Let's get him up and have a look. Good one to start the day. He'd be up over 70 centimetres. Cracking fish, very healthy, great condition, great colours. How good's that? That's why you get up in these freezing cold temperatures to meet fish like that. He's a beauty. Very cool. Thanks, buddy. Doesn't feel as cold anymore. That's awesome. Well, it has been very quiet. It is now 11:30, so I've been fishing for 5.5 hours and just up one bite early this morning. The sun's got high, the clarity's, like, it's not too bad, but the water is a bit brownish looking. Clarity's not terrible, I can see my oar a fair way down. But there are some other factors which is probably why the fish are a bit shut down. Firstly, because it's winter, the water is very cold. That's always going to slow down the bite. But also today, when I was looking last night, the barometer was going to drop 8 or 10 hexapascals over about 6 or 8 hours, something like that. It was plummeting from really high. I think it was 1,025 when I got here this morning, and it's meant to get down to 1,017 or 1,016 by now. It's lunchtime, so that could also have been pretty sulky, I suppose. The last few days have been really good. Bite days have been leading up to the full moon, which is normally a pretty good time to target them. So they could also just be full, not really in a feeding mood, along with that drop in barometer, the cold water, just a winter bite really. You got to get into it and enjoy the grind. Anyway, now I'm going to work my way back to the ute against the current. I think I'm just going to chuck 2 lures out and drag them back through some timber and see if I can get a bite on the trawl. I did have someone lined up to move my ute, so I was just going to drift right through, but they've just had something come up, so I've got to now go back against the current, back to the ute, which is a bit of hard work, but we'll see if we can get some trolling back through all this timber. Righto, that's it for this session. Only the one bite early this morning. It is now 1:30, so fished for 7 hours. So one bite very early on. Went down, just had to work my way back upstream, trawled where I could, didn't get any touches there. Pretty hard work coming back up into that current. We're here now, so we'll jump back on the ute. And, thanks for tuning in. If you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. It helps others find the channel, it also helps us grow.